What was the most interesting lesson you've ever had?
The most interesting lesson I've ever had was a history class about ancient civilizations. My teacher made the past come alive by using interactive maps and virtual reality tours of historical sites. It wasn't just about memorizing dates. We really explored the cultures and daily lives of people from thousands of years ago, which was fascinating and incredibly engaging.
Do you prefer learning new things by yourself or with a teacher?
I generally prefer learning new things with a teacher. While self-study offers flexibility, a good teacher provides structured guidance, clarifies complex concepts, and offers immediate feedback. Their experience can really steer you away from common pitfalls and introduce you to different perspectives that you might not encounter if learning entirely on your own.
What kind of lessons do you think are most important for children to learn?
I believe lessons about critical thinking and emotional intelligence are most important for children. Beyond academic subjects, understanding how to analyze information, empathize with others, and manage their own feelings are crucial life skills. These lessons equip them to navigate challenges, build healthy relationships, and make informed decisions throughout their lives.
Have you ever taught someone a lesson?
Yes, I have. A few years ago, I volunteered to tutor younger students in mathematics. It was a rewarding experience, particularly when I helped one student grasp algebra, which they found very challenging. Seeing their understanding click and their confidence grow was a wonderful feeling, confirming that patience and clear explanations can make a real difference.
What is one valuable life lesson you have learned?
One valuable life lesson I've learned is the importance of resilience. There have been times when things didn't go as planned, and instead of giving up, I had to find the strength to adapt and keep trying. This lesson has taught me that setbacks are opportunities for growth, and perseverance is key to achieving long-term goals and overcoming obstacles. I vividly recall an English lesson that truly stood out for me, primarily because of its dynamic and engaging nature. This particular class was held at a local language school in my hometown, a place called the Global English Hub. It was a relatively small, modern establishment, and our classroom was always bright and airy, equipped with an interactive whiteboard that our teacher used very effectively. The environment itself felt very conducive to learning, far from the traditional, sometimes rigid school settings. The teacher for this memorable lesson was Ms. Eleanor Vance. She was an absolutely remarkable educator, brimming with energy and an infectious enthusiasm for the English language. What set her apart was her incredible patience and a brilliant sense of humor, which she incorporated seamlessly into her teaching. She never just taught from a textbook. Instead, she consistently brought in real-world examples, encouraged genuine, spontaneous conversation, and made every student feel comfortable contributing, regardless of their proficiency level. Her passion for the subject was truly inspiring, and it made you want to learn more. During that specific class, we focused on idiomatic expressions, which can often be quite challenging for non-native speakers. We began with a fun warm-up activity where Ms. Vance presented short stories, and we had to try and guess the meaning of various idioms based on the context. Following this, she introduced several new idioms like hit the books or break a leg, meticulously explaining their origins and demonstrating their common usage in different scenarios. The most enjoyable part was when we broke into pairs to create our own short dialogues, incorporating these newly learned idioms. We then had the opportunity to perform these dialogues for the rest of the class, which was both entertaining and a great way to practice. We even did a listening exercise where we had to identify idioms in a short podcast clip, making the learning multifaceted. I enjoyed this lesson immensely because it felt incredibly practical and directly relevant to real-life English communication. Unlike some lessons that felt purely academic or focused on grammar rules in isolation, this one directly improved my ability to understand and use natural, everyday expressions, which are so prevalent in native speech. Ms. Vance's engaging teaching style, coupled with her ability to make complex concepts simple and fun, ensured that I was constantly participating and never felt bored or overwhelmed. It significantly boosted my confidence, as I could immediately apply what I learned, making the language feel less like a daunting subject and more like a living tool for genuine connection. The supportive atmosphere she cultivated meant that even making mistakes felt like a valuable learning opportunity, rather than a failure.
In what ways has technology changed how people learn lessons today compared to the past?
Technology has profoundly revolutionized the landscape of learning, offering unprecedented access to information and diverse pedagogical approaches that were unimaginable in the past. Historically, learning was primarily confined to classrooms, libraries, or direct apprenticeship, relying heavily on physical resources like textbooks and the presence of a live instructor. Today, digital platforms, online courses, and educational apps allow individuals to learn at their own pace, anytime, anywhere. This has democratized education, enabling people in remote areas to access high-quality content or specialists globally. Furthermore, interactive simulations, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence provide immersive and personalized learning experiences, adapting to individual learning styles and speeds. This contrasts sharply with the one-to-many, often passive, learning prevalent in the past, where the pace was dictated by the slowest learner and resources were finite. The shift to a digital ecosystem means learning is no longer a linear, time-bound process, but a continuous, self-directed journey.
Do you think people appreciate lessons learned through experience more than lessons learned from books?
I believe there's a strong argument that lessons learned through direct experience often resonate more deeply and are appreciated more profoundly than those gained solely from books. Experiential learning involves active engagement, problem-solving in real time, and often facing consequences, which solidifies understanding in a way that theoretical knowledge might not. For instance, understanding resilience by navigating a personal challenge is far more impactful than merely reading about its definition. Experience creates a direct emotional and practical connection to the lesson, making it memorable and applicable. While books provide foundational knowledge, context, and a broad understanding of concepts, they lack the visceral impact of real-world application. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that both forms of learning are complementary. Books can provide the necessary framework and foresight, preventing mistakes, while experience transforms that abstract knowledge into practical wisdom, making the learning truly holistic.
What are some challenges associated with teaching moral lessons to young children?
Teaching moral lessons to young children presents several unique challenges, primarily because their cognitive and emotional development is still in its nascent stages. Abstract concepts like empathy, integrity, or fairness can be difficult for them to fully grasp without concrete examples or relatable scenarios. Children often learn best through observation and direct experience, so simply telling them "be kind" is less effective than demonstrating kindness and guiding them through situations where they can practice it. Consistency is also a major hurdle. Children need to see moral principles consistently applied by adults around them across various situations to internalize them. Furthermore, their limited perspective means they might struggle to understand the long-term consequences of actions, focusing more on immediate gratification. This requires educators and parents to be highly patient, employ storytelling, role-playing, and gentle guidance, rather than just delivering lectures, to make these crucial lessons stick.
How can educational institutions ensure that the lessons they teach remain relevant in a rapidly changing world?
For educational institutions to remain relevant in a rapidly changing world, they must adopt a dynamic and forward-thinking approach to curriculum development and pedagogical practices. Firstly, there needs to be a continuous feedback loop from industries and professional sectors, ensuring that the skills and knowledge taught align with current and future job market demands, rather than relying solely on outdated curricula. Secondly, fostering critical thinking, adaptability, and problem-solving skills, rather than just rote memorization of facts, is paramount. These transferable skills enable individuals to learn and unlearn throughout their lives. Thirdly, integrating technology not just as a tool, but as an enabler of new learning methodologies, such as personalized learning paths and interdisciplinary projects, is vital. Finally, promoting a culture of lifelong learning among both students and faculty, encouraging continuous professional development for educators to stay abreast of new advancements, ensures the lessons imparted are always current and prepares students for an unpredictable future.
Do you think it's important for adults to continue learning new lessons throughout their lives?
Absolutely. I believe it is fundamentally important for adults to continue learning new lessons throughout their entire lives. The world is evolving at an unprecedented pace, with rapid advancements in technology, science, and societal norms. Lifelong learning, whether formal or informal, is essential for staying professionally competent, adapting to new challenges, and maintaining cognitive agility. It's not just about career progression. It's also about personal growth, broadening perspectives, and enhancing overall well-being. Learning new skills or exploring new interests can prevent mental stagnation, foster creativity, and even improve physical health. Furthermore, in an increasingly interconnected world, understanding diverse viewpoints and continuously updating one's knowledge base contributes to more informed citizenship and a richer personal life. The idea that learning stops after formal education is simply outdated. Continuous learning is a prerequisite for thriving in the modern era.